All right, so now that I've created this short list of 37 government contracting companies that I have a pretty high degree of confidence will be able to satisfy this requirement for 3D printed T-connectors, I want to show you how you can access that list and what you can do with it to support your market research findings. So every list is going to be stored up here in my lists page. So I can just cruise down to this BiPAP T-connectors list, which I've been building throughout this case study. And here I see the 30 plus suppliers that I had found. And again, because I'd done the strategic market research up front, I was able to find a lot of companies that were relevant just because of, in some cases, looking at the name of the company, Prototech. I knew that, and Polyspectra, that's probably a better example. Poly is a prefix for the type of plastic, the polythermal plastic that's used in 3D printing. So just seeing Polyspectra, gave me a good feeling that company was in additive manufacturing. I mean, obviously they had returned my search result, but seeing Polyspectra, that told me, okay, polythermal plastics, definitely a company that I want to look at. And that, when you're talking about clicking through 1,000 supplier profiles, that's a time-saving, assist. So a neat thing here is I can create a summary report with all of these BiPAP, relevant suppliers. And I'm just going to type this quickly because I want to show you how this looks. But market research effort. This is where I would, if I was doing this and formatting this specifically for market research report, I would spend a little bit more time filling out this description, like, what I did, how I did it, the technique that I used, anything from my GSAT that would be relevant for ultimately the people reviewing this market research report. So let's just put that together, and it's going to populate and download. And I'm going to take a look at it. And what's really neat is that it does show sort of the number of small businesses versus other than small businesses versus, what's unknown. So this report's rather unimpressive, unfortunately, and it's because we've been, adding these suppliers really quickly, and a lot of them have not had a chance to come on and update their profiles. But if we did, we might see some companies that had set-aside programs. We would see more information about the ownership. So think about how useful this type of information will be for your market research findings. So a really good thing to look at building these lists, useful for a lot of different things. I could also share these suppliers, by email. I could copy, I could just take, honestly, just since this is a list that I made publicly, I could just copy this and send it to my my customers and say, hey, take a look at some of these companies. But then also when I'm ready to start, doing a little bit deeper market research, and I'm calling these companies, I literally have the contact information right here. Their government POC, their phone number, their email address, and if I want to add notes on the conversation, I can do that here. Another useful thing, and these are public only to me. I should say they're private. I can only I can see them. They're only visible to me. So pretty neat features here in GovShop, and definitely recommend you take advantage of them. And if you have any questions, you can always call us or use the chat feature down here. We're always available to help you.